Hi there, folks. This is Adam with 8 Badge Gaming coming to you today with the second gameplay video in our Gardevoir Gallade series, or Gallade series, if you will. And we're just going to go ahead and hop on into the queue. We did manage to get in 2 games there yesterday, as they were both quick matches with our opponents scooping it up to us, putting us at a 2-0 record so far. And we're hoping to see what kind of new decks we might experience here today. We're in the queue itself there now, just waiting for it to finish popping there for us. And once we do indeed get someone up here now. So it looks like we're against a Dragon Grass and Psychic deck. Now this is likely the Rayquaza deck that people have been all head over heels for. We're going to call heads on the flip here again. And surprise, surprise, we actually win the flip for once. So we are going to indeed take the first turn here. And I think we're totally fine against Rayquaza with this deck, mainly because we're happy to just shoot our Gardevoir Gallade up, etc., and just take one-shots, likely, because their Pokemon are going to have energy on them. So let's see, we are going to have a look here now. We've got a start with Mysterious Treasure. I think what we want to do is throw down a Rangaroo. We're going to Mysterious Treasure and discard Mysterious Treasure here. And we're going to go for a Tapu Lele. Now let's quickly see what we have prized. We have our Ralts in the active here now. We have our 3 Curlias, our 3 Leles, our 3 Gardevoirs. It looks like we have a Mewtwo prized, and we have our Rangaroo already. We have both of our Field Blowers. We have our Rare Candies. We've used both Mysterious Treasures. We have both Super Rods and all of our Ultra Balls, all of our Parallel Cities, both of our Bridgets. It looks like we have our Guzma in hand. We are looking at 1 N prized and 1 of our Sycamores, 1 of our Choice Bands. We've got a DCE in hand, and we have 2 Energies. So we did miss something there that was prized overall. Let's have a quick scan over. It was, I think it's our Glades. Would actually make a lot of sense. So let's go ahead and go for a Lele here. We're going to go for a draw supporter. We don't want to discard any of the cards in hand, so we're going to hit Cynthia here. And it does indeed look like both of our Glades are prized here, which isn't good for us. But we do get the Cynthia to hopefully go now for a bit of a better hand overall. What we're hoping to hit here is we did get another Ralts, a draw supporter, so let's go ahead and throw down the Ralts. We'll throw down a Fairy Energy? No, we're going to go a DCE. See if our opponent does have an Enhanced Hammer. I don't think the deck is running it, but we may be surprised here yet. Now, we do see a Float Stone going on the Lele right off the bat, so where they did unfortunately have that Lele start, they did have an N to basically fill their hand again. Now that is actually good for us because it does put us up a couple cards in hand, and we still do have a draw supporter in hand. Now I don't like seeing 3 of our energies in hand there, especially with our draw supporter being a Sycamore, but we do get a Ralts that we will be able to throw down. Now our opponent is using a Mysterious Treasure here now to go for a Rayquaza Full Art, and we're going to see what they put up here now. Now, I'm not sure exactly how the deck itself does work, but we do see a couple of energy likely going on to the Rayquaza here through the mill effect for when it comes into play. So Stormy Winds is whenever you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench. During your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your deck, and if you do, attach basic energy from your discard pile to this Pokemon. They did hit a second Rayquaza here. They do likely have another draw supporter in hand in their last 2 cards there. So we'll see how they go in. We do see them suiting up for a Tempest GX here. To discard their hand and draw 10 cards. So I really kind of wish we had an N here, and that is a timely top deck. So let's go ahead and end them down here now. We're basically taking 4 cards out of their hands. We do not get what we want here of rare candies to go with these Gardevoirs. Now, what I can do, however, is use an Ultra Ball to discard an energy and a Gardevoir, I think, here now. So I think we go for energy, and do we go for the DCE? So let's see, 180 means 6 total energy attached. He does need to attach another energy to be able to KO, so we do have a KO available right now. We don't need to worry about the DCE. We're looking more at the consistency of having a backup fairy energy. We're going to go for our Kirlia here. The best top deck we could get next turn, period, would be a rare candy, but we'll see how it shapes up here now. Now, they do get to hit for quite a bit of energy, or whether quite a bit of damage there right now, because they're looking at 30 times the amount of grass and electric energy attached to their Pokemon, period, which right now is 90. They need another energy attachment, which would put it up to 120. Ooh, Palpad putting 2 Guzmas back in isn't good for us, especially if they're going for Mysterious Treasure here now, to go for a Lele, to go for a Guzma, to take out our Kirlia, and just make us sad. So that means that we will be kind of restricted to a single Gardevoir. They did have a very much perfect setup there to be able to make sure that our Kirlia is getting KO'd. We likely should have diversified a little bit here, but there's not much that we can do. We need to go in and get ready. We needed to go for the Kirlia there. And sadly, we're getting the KO if they have any energy to attach, which they do. So we are losing our Kirlia here, our energy as well, so it does make a lot more sense that we did keep up our energy here for our secondary Kirlia or Ralts. Now, what I think we want to do is put up our Lele here. We did get a Kirlia off the top, and we do only have one of our Gardevoirs left in the deck. So let's see if we can Oranguru to instruct here now. For 1, we get another energy. We're just going to have to Sycamore because we have to get deeper into our deck. We did get the Ultra Ball as well as a Lele. We don't want to invest anything from our hand just yet, so we're just going to go ahead and pass back here. We have the potential KO next turn if they don't mess with us. Like, what we can do is discard to the Ultra Ball, likely whatever we draw, and possibly the Lele. We go for our Gardevoir, our remaining Gardevoir GX in the deck. Then we Guzma up one of their Rayquazas, we Secret Spring, or just attach the DCE, and then go for a full KO on said Rayquaza. Now, they do have 2 Rayquazas available here. We're hoping that they don't have the setup to kind of just KO us right off the bat, get our second Kirlia up here. And they don't have the Guzma effect, so that is something there at least. So without the Guzma here now, our Kirlia is going to be able to safely evolve. They are going deep overall, though. They don't have many cards left in their deck. We're actually looking at them only having 13 cards left. So if we can take out the suited up Rayquazas, we're going to be in a much better place. And if we take out the double energy Rayquaza on the bench, then we're going to be very well set. So they are going to be taking a couple of prizes here, and I actually am looking forward to us just taking a very big KO against them here now. We can not even have to actually use the Ultra Ball here. We'll go ahead and evolve into Gardevoir. Now, we want to attach a DCE because that's going to equate a KO here. We will go ahead and use an Ultra Ball, discarding, I think, the Lele and an Energy. We're going to use that to go get ourselves another Kirlia here because we're looking like we're going to have to evolve the hard way. We'll get a Kirlia prepped and ready here. We're going to use a Sycamore to pitch our hand down. As much as I kind of wish it was an N, I didn't want to invest the Lele to the bench as an easy KO. But we do get to knock out a couple of their Pokemon here now with the Parallel City. So we can Parallel City. I wonder if they keep the Float Stone to Lele, but I feel like they probably get rid of it here, which they did indeed. Now, we will just go ahead, and I think we're just going to hit, or rather, we're going to Secret Spring here first. We're going to put an energy onto the Kirlia, and we're going to go for an Infinite Force for KO on the Rayquaza. Now, they're not going to be able to KO us back. They just don't have enough energy on the board right now, but if they do get a Guzma, they can likely put up our Kirlia and take some quick and easy damage there. So let's see if they do have a Guzma. They have used one of the two that they shuffled back in with the Pal Pad, and they do only have 14 cards left in deck. So it is quite likely that they do have it in hand. Now, I am contemplating next turn actually just straight using this Ultra Ball to go for a Lele for an N to put our opponent down as many cards as possible. We do see a Rescue Stretcher here that's going to be going for a Lele, which is a bit surprising, but I'm guessing he's going for the Guzma so he can take out the Kirlia and get in another prize here. Now, whatever Guzma's up, he is going to have to attack, and that would require putting another energy on. So I will happily take a one-shot on your Rayquaza with my Kirlia. Just getting lost in the crossfire, basically. We're going to see an Ultra Ball here, discarding a couple of cards. What is he going to go for, I wonder? It's likely going to be a fail to find, unless he's trying to get a card out of his deck to thin it out. He is going for the Lele here, and a Dragon Break is going to take a KO. So here we're going to go ahead and put up our Gardevoir. We're going to get ready for another straight KO. We don't want to invest anything else into the bench here. Now, let's see. I don't think we need to Sycamore. We don't need to use anything that we have. I will happily, though, use a Field Blower to get rid of both of his Float Stones to make that a little bit more awkward for the retreat for him next turn. And now I think we just go ahead and take a straight KO with Infinite Force. So our opponent does need to be able to get quite a bit of energy into play right now to be able to one-shot us, and if he doesn't one-shot us, he's losing this game. We're not putting any other Pokemon down because he has to get through this Gardevoir to be able to win, and right now, with Fairy Weakness on the Rayquaza, we're in a really good position. We are going to be hitting for 120 doubled against the Rayquaza, so he does need to try and get through it. We do have a Choice Band here on the Pheromosa. Now, the Pheromosa can deal 50 damage for each prize card your opponent has taken, which will be 200, and could be an exact KO here if he can get 2 Grass Energy onto the Pheromosa and get it up into the active. Now, we do have the Guzma in hand, so we could technically force up something on their side that we could KO easily, or a little bit more easily, I guess I should say, than the Tapu Lele. But if we get deep enough, we can KO on the Lele as well. Now, our opponent is going to be drawing quite a bit of cards with that Copycat there, but he did attach the energy to the Rayquaza. So that does seem a little risky there, but he is going to be ending us down, which I am actually alright with, depending on what cards we get, as we do have an overly large hand, and I don't know why he would go get the Copycat there. Now, I think we might have a Lele left here that we could use to go for a KO. Now, what we want is not the rare candy. We do have a Lele available to us. So let's see. We can go for a Lele, which can go for a Sycamore, which could get us into DCE plus energy plus choice band territory. So I think that's the route that we want to take. We do have a lot of cards to get through to be able to potentially get that, but we will do an Oranguru here now to get a little bit deeper, so we can potentially get a bit better off here. So we'll go ahead and invest the Lele down. We're going to go for a supporter card, which will be a Sycamore in this case. We're going to discard that Gallade and that Mewtwo pretty easily there. And we're going to try to just set up for a one-shot on the Lele here. So we got a DCE, but we didn't get a Choice Band. Now, we did get Super Rod, which can let us shuffle some stuff back into our deck. And we do get to take some KOs there potentially. So let's go ahead and we're going to Super Rod here, and we're going to put some energy back into our deck primarily. So we're going to double Super Rod. And what I think we want to do is we haven't gone through all of our rare candies. There's still 2 in the deck between the one in hand and one here right now. So we'll go for a Gardevoir and a couple energies here. They do need to be able to get that Lele out of the active. They do only have the 1 card in hand. So let's go ahead and attach an energy here. We don't have the KO, but we can put a serious amount of damage onto this Lele. Now, they still can't one-shot us back right now. With the Rayquaza, we're looking at currently 120 damage. If they did get double energy onto the Pheromosa, we'd be looking at 230, which could be a KO, but it's not exactly where they want to be. He did put the energy onto the Lele. We do have the capability of KOing here, but he is going to go for the Guzma to kind of take a KO. Is this actually Xaxes? I think it is. No, it's not quite. Oh, 150. So not quite there on the math. We will go Rare Candy on to the Gardevoir here, and we're going to Sycamore to get as deep in our deck. We should be able to hit an energy, which we do, and we can attach that to our Lele, retreat into a fully suited up Gardevoir, and we can go ahead and just KO for a bajillion million damage there. So that was actually a very good game. There was a good bit of back and forth. Our opponent needed to be able to hit a couple specific cards to really take control of that game, and they didn't hit them. We were able to exploit the fairy weakness on Rayquaza, which is another reason that I think the Gallades and the Gardevoir deck itself will still be good once rotation hits, as a lot of people will be on the Rayquaza train. So being able to shut down that whole train with a couple of quick energy, so if they have the 3 energy for a Rayquaza to be able to attack, we're already looking at 90 damage. We just need to attach literally a single fairy energy to a Gardevoir. We're hitting then for 120 doubled due to the fairy weakness, which is going to be a KO against a Rayquaza regardless. So that does actually clue up our gameplay video there for today. We do always greatly appreciate your viewership here at 8Badge Gaming. I do hope you did enjoy watching the game overall, and I hope you continue to tune in for the remainder of the gameplay videos this week. As always, we're happy to hear back from you, and with that said, this is Adam at 8Badge Gaming signing off.